Hi, everybody. I hope everybody can hear me out there. Trying to adjust the light good, make sure we're all on. Happy Wednesday. I just got out of the shower because I was covered in sawdust. And I was like, I can't do a Wednesday that way. So my hair dried like this. And I think I should put on a hat. It would be much cuter, but whatever. You guys love me anyway. You don't care, right? How's everybody doing today? Ready for the weekend, I hope? And then just so everybody knows, if you're available tonight at 7, we're going to do cocktails and conversation. We'll be talking about Senate Bill 33 and Senate Bill 34 and where we need to be on those. We're at no on 33 and yes on 34. Okay. And if anybody needs information about that, I'd be more than happy to help you. Those of you that manage your property for profit, it is time to send a newsletter to your owners telling them to vote no on Prop 33. That is going to repeal the Costa-Hawkins Act and make it so that when our units go vacant, we cannot bring it up to market value. We can only do the maximum rent increase allowed by the governing party. So if your rent's at $800 and your tenant moves out, and you're in an LA County, you can only do 4.2%. Patty, it costs me more than 4.2% of the $800 to do paint and carpet. I know. It's what the rules that govern us have now done. Okay. So remember that and keep that in mind. All right, what do we need to talk about today? I see stuff in the chat, people just saying, hello, Roadrunner. Do me a favor, Roadrunner. When we're done with the webinar today, give me a ring, okay? Give me a ring. Does anybody, oh, and why are we voting yes on Prop 34? Proposition 34 would stop people from raising money in one category and utilizing those donations in another category. Example, you shouldn't raise money for AIDS research and use that money that you raised for AIDS research for rent control purposes. That has nothing to do with AIDS. Okay, everybody got that? So that's what 34 does, is it's going to stop Mr. Weinstein dead in his tracks. He won't be able to use the money raised for AIDS research to fight for rent control. Yes on 34, no on 33, okay?
Hi, Patty. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. I'm good.
Question.
Yes.
I have a vacancy and I have the hardest time filling it. So I'm not sure what is going on, or am I doing something or not doing something that needs to be done?
Okay. Where are you advertising?
So Zillow and apartments.
Okay. And are you at market value?
I believe so, in the neighborhood. Yes.
Okay. And are you offering the same amenities as the rest of the market?
Possibly not quiet, because it's not central air and just one car parking for a 2-bedroom.
So adjust your price accordingly, or you're gonna sit on the market. Make sense?
Any other suggestions besides price?
Lower it by $15 if you're gonna lower it.
Okay. Got it.
But it's going to be price that's going to get you in. The other thing that you may want to offer is a move-in incentive.
Okay, I was thinking of that already, lowering it,
Well, if you lower your rent, you've lowered your rent. If you lower the security deposit as a move-in incentive, in a perfect world, that's not your money anyway. So you're not hurting yourself.
Maybe giving them a credit you know, for after 6 months of $300 or something.
Something like that. You could do something like that too. Move-in incentive. We're not quite to the part where we want to start giving things away quite yet, but we could always lower the security deposit. And people tell me, Patty, why is that the first place you go? Hear me out, okay?
Okay.
If the tenant has a 750 FICO score and a really good job, would you take a $500 security deposit? Absolutely. Why would you?
Mhm.
Right, right. Absolutely. I'd take a $500 security deposit.
Yeah. What happens is with all the good credit scores and good income, they say they're coming, and at the end they don't come.
I understand. So there's something going on there that isn't inviting that clientele to your property.
Mhm.
We need to figure out why.
Wow.
Is it because it doesn't have central air? And if that's the case, did we lower the price to accommodate that?
All right.
And then and I'm going to teach a whole series. We're going to jump into this. You'll probably see things starting to come up in the next month here on Widget's Way, where I'm going to be teaching a class to you guys live on a Wednesday, because I need your input to teach a class or your feedback as we go through. And then we'll have those classes available on the website so people can reach back into them if needed. So I think that would be a great tip. But one of the things that I like to teach is putting lipstick on the pig.
Oh.
And one of the ways you can doctor up your property fairly inexpensively, and it makes total sense, but we don't think about it, is I don't know about you guys, but do you have any of those outlets in your house now that have a plug on top, a plug on bottom, and 2 USB ports? Okay. They're outlets like electrical sockets for your house. They're like 16 to 20 bucks a piece. Okay. If you add 2 of those in obvious areas where people may have a charge, where do you charge your cell phone? Okay?
Yeah, the bed and the kitchen.
Do you do it on the island, in the kitchen? I mean, do you have it in your bedroom? So those are 2 places you could install those outlets and call that an upgrade. Okay. Those are little things that you can do that will entice someone to rent that property. Somebody that makes that kind of money that you're trying to grab a hold of also is very involved in technology. Okay. So because of that, you want to invite that or encourage that by maybe putting in those USB charging port outlets in a couple of places. And there's a few other things that you can do to help encourage that type of tenant. Okay.
Great. Thank you so much.
Stay tuned for my upcoming class. So we're going to have quite a few classes going on leasing, dispositions of security deposit, advertising, getting a property rent ready, knowing what rent ready means. So someone recently just bought a house. Okay. Brand new construction. They sell it to the owner. The owner goes, it's going to be a rental, and immediately turns it into a rental. Okay. They walk the property. It's gorgeous. Sale ready and rent ready are 2 totally different things. The owner was most upset when they realized they had to go back through and provide paper towel holders, toilet paper holders, window screens because they weren't on the windows, window coverings because that's just wrong, and other things that builders don't do, towel bars, things like this. And these can become a huge expense as you go through the process. So something else to keep in mind is sale ready and rent ready are not the same thing. Okay. Rent ready means it's turnkey and you can move into it. Sale ready is not that, guys. But I'll teach you a couple new ways to put lipstick on the pig and try to entice the right type of applicant to what you are attempting to do. BC. Hello, BC. I have a tenancy in it on April 31st. She sent an email that she moved out on May 1st. I sent an estimated disposition letter on the 20th. She's suing that I didn't respond within 21 days. Am I good within these days? Tenancy ended on April 1st. Doesn't matter what day tenancy ended. She moved out and surrendered the keys on what day? Because that's day one. If she did that on May 1st and you mailed the letter and it's postmarked on the 20th, you're in compliance. In the county of Riverside and San Bernardino, how much would be the relocation fees if the owner has to pest test the property? Sorry, you don't want to know where my head went. Let's just let Widget catch her breath for a minute as I crack myself up. Sorry. Blonde. with shower hair. Sorry. Oh. What is the owner trying to test? Test. I'm just trying to understand what you're trying to do. Because, pest treat. Okay. They're trying to treat for pests. Gotcha now. Because I'm like, if they want to test for pests, they just go in there and look. What are you talking about? It's reasonable accommodations. So let's talk about reasonable accommodations really quickly. It's what's reasonable. Reasonable. Okay. So in the event your tenant needs to be relocated for 5 days while you're treating for termites or tenting for bed bugs or something along those lines, if they are in a 1-year lease term, or if you are, and I already know this is in Riverside or San Bernardino, so you're going to get a much different answer than you would get in LA County. Make note of that. What you do here is not what we do there. Got it? If they're on a month-to-month, you would, it actually doesn't matter month-to-month or a 1-year term. You're giving them 1/30th of the rent back as a daily rent credit, also known as per diem. Per diem is 1 day of rent. Okay. So it's not a relocation fee. Okay. It's a rent credit while the tenant is displaced. Make sense? Okay. But definitely not a relocation fee. It's not something you pay them. Same for the water leak. Yes, you're giving them back their rent. They don't owe rent. If they can't be housed there, you're also going to have to pay to put them in a hotel. But how you figure out a rent credit is by the daily rent amount. So I always use $1,000 as an example. And the reason why I use $1,000 as an example is I have that math memorized by heart. It's actually very simple. If you take 30 days and divide it by $1,000 of rent, because let's say our rent's $1,000, then your daily rent is $33.33 per day. If you had to credit them for 3 days, it would be $99.99. Does that make sense? Same for a water leak. It would be the same for any habitability issue. There's the key. Any habitability issue. Any. And the reason I'm saying that this is different in LA than it's different in San Bernardino and Riverside County, just so we're all on the same page, is if you were in unincorporated Los Angeles County, what unincorporated Los Angeles County says under DCBA is you must give them a daily per diem amount, I believe, of $266 per day. Is it 266? Yeah, $266 per day. And that's me going through the filing cabinet in my brain. So I could be wrong with the exact number, but I'm in the neighborhood, okay? It's $266 a day per diem plus $66 for each adult and $33 for each child for incidentals, meaning food credit, laundry credit, etc. So it doesn't matter how much your rent is, the county is setting how much your per diem is. It's bureaucracy and BS. Okay, for nobody that knew that, the County of Los Angeles unincorporated DCBA sets your per diem amount. It is not 1/30th of your rent. It is whatever they say it is. And it sucks because an owner that has, as an example, a rent that's $600 or $800, and they have to take the tenant out for 4 days to treat for bed bugs that the tenant brought in anyway, they have to credit them $266 a day plus $66 for each adult and $33 for each child for each day they were out of the unit. That's going to eat up a month's rent within 4 days of them having to be displaced. But then you're not paying for a hotel. You're not doing any of that. That's just what you have to give them. That's the end of that. Okay. Until the city goes and changes it and realizes that by giving them that much money, we're actually not providing them a reasonable accommodation because we're not helping them get a hotel and we're not helping them do this. So it all falls on them. And on another note, if your rent's $5,000 a month, the per diem amount is peanuts. Just saying. It should be 1/30th of the rent. Hope that makes sense. And my Roadrunner girls are gone already. They are gone just as quick as they got here. Does anybody else have anything in particular that they want to talk about? Any questions? Belsie. Hi, Belsie. Where can I get the list of the percentage of rent increase allowed in LA unincorporated areas in LA City? Belsie, are you sitting down? Are you sitting down? Anything that is governed by the DCBA is now a maximum increase of 4.2%. So all of unincorporated LA County is just as strict as the city of LA, if not worse. So to know what each city's maximum rent increase is, I would go to stayhousedla.org. Hey, Erica. I see you. Unincorporated LA is still under AB 1482. Okay, stop. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but you're not paying attention, okay? When it comes to what governs you, your city comes first, okay? If the city doesn't govern you, then the state does. So if you're in unincorporated LA County, okay, they're who governs you. They're the ones that say you can only raise your rent 4.2%. AB 1482 is a state law. And if the city is more restrictive, that's who controls you. If they're not more restrictive, then the state controls you. Does that make sense? Here, this is how I learned it from an attorney. And it's a tongue twister, but it clicked for me. When it comes to restrictions, the restriction that restricts you the most is the one that controls you. Got it? So if you're in the city, but you're exempt from the city, then you're subject to the county. If you're not exempt, if you're exempt from the county, then you're governed by the state. City, county, state, federal. Got it? City, county, state, federal. Does that make sense? So if you're in unincorporated LA County and you're governed by the DCBA, your maximum rent increase is 4.2%. There's 144 cities within the county that are subject to that. 144 cities in the county of LA subject to that maximum rent increase. Remember way back in 2021 when DCBA was setting up this? I think it was even back in 2020. And they were saying, register your units. We'll let you register for free for the first year. Remember? And I said, you guys, this is a ploy. It's a ploy. It's to bait and switch you. They're going to get you in there, but you have to do it. You're governed by them. You're required to. But you watch, once they get their hook in, they're going to change the rules. It's going to be a bait and switch. And that's exactly what happened. Now, certain areas of the county of Los Angeles are more restrictive than the city of LA. Even the city of Santa Ana in Orange County requires a copy of all written communications between landlord and tenant from inception to date. What does that mean? They want an entire copy of your case file from hello to today. Why does the enemy need your documents? Bill C, it doesn't go by zip code. It goes by address. Look under stayhousedla.org. It's the easiest and the best way that I could tell you, because you can't look it up by zip code anymore. What the county has done is they've put out a plot map and they've drawn lines on who's governed by what. We can't see those. Stay Housed LA is a good resource for that. The other one is ZIMAS, ZIMAS. You need to be address specific, not zip code specific. In the same zip code, in the city of Torrance, parts of it are unincorporated, parts of it are incorporated, and parts of it are now governed by the city of Los Angeles's BS, all under the same zip code. Doesn't go by zip code anymore. It strictly goes by street address. You can look that up either on ZIMAS or on stayhousedla.org. I had a brain fart. Did you see that? It happened live. It's okay. It didn't smell bad.
Patty, I have a question.
Yeah.
We have a property that
Who is this?
Oh, hi, this is Lorena.
Oh, thank you. That helps me tremendously. I thought I recognized your voice. Are you going to
Oh,
be
I thought you
joining
could-
me? Are you guys
I
all
thought
going
you-
to be joining me tonight at 7 for cocktails and conversation? Because we're doing that.
Absolutely. I'll be there. Is that a cocktail you're drinking now?
Iced tea. Iced tea.
What-
I've been working out in the heat.
Long Island iced tea?
No. Patty would face plant if I Long Island iced tea'd. Especially this big. Look, it's like the size of my head. Ew.
I thought you could see my name when I would speak. Maybe
Oh,
'cause I'm on-
I keep it open on the text messaging stuff so that if somebody sends a message, I can see them because I lose it so much. Like Linda just sent a message.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
I have a property in East LA. Boyle Heights area. And there is we got the the letter from LA that they were going to do the inspection on all of the units, and we came out, we gave everybody notice, and they were able to go into all the units except for one.
There's always one.
Yeah, so then I put a notice on that person's door, and it like 30 days passed and the notices are still on the door. The inspector came back out again, wasn't able, the day before, a couple days before he came out, I put a 24-hour notice on the door so that the person would call, and they haven't called. The notices are still on the door. He did pay his July rent because this happened back in June, and his July payment was made on July 1st, but nobody has come in or out of that unit, and there's still, all the signs are still on the door. So what can I do?
Got that?
Breathe?
Yeah, because I'm about to tell you something you don't want to hear.
Okay.
This is tipping me off that you have a bigger problem. Okay? It's telling me that somebody's not there, but they're still paying you.
Yeah, exactly.
When's the last time the neighbors have seen someone go in or out of that unit? You served a 24-hour notice, but did you go in or no?
I didn't go in.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel uncomfortable opening people's doors.
It's time, honey. So
Okay.
let me say this to you and heed my warning.
Okay.
If you go to the door and post a notice on the door and you notice a smell,
Yeah,
you
no,
want
I,
to,
yeah, we checked that because I'm like, is this person, I mean, he's a young guy, but you never know. No, there's no smell coming from the property.
the other thing you can do is check arrest record in LA County.
Okay, so should I I'm gonna post another, 'cause I'm like thinking, the first is coming up again. He might just have his rent like on ACH and I might get a payment
Now
again.
you understand.
Yeah. So
If
I'm
he's
thinking,
in the hospital, in jail, and he's on auto payment, it's auto coming out of his account.
right,
If he's in another country or doing something that he shouldn't be and using that unit for God knows what, nobody lives there. And that should
yeah.
be another red flag.
Okay, so I'm
Okay.
gonna put a 24-hour notice and then I'm gonna go into the property.
Bingo.
I
Go
don't
see if
have
there's furniture.
yeah.
Go see if
So
there's stuff in the fridge.
I don't think I have a key for that unit.
Okay,
So
call a locksmith, ask them to make you a key and gain you access. Do not change the lock.
do not change the locks. Okay,
Correct.
all right.
Unless
So,
you get in there and there's absolutely nothing in there. And then you're going to post a notice of belief of abandonment of real property.
okay,
But you have to wait until the rent's unpaid for 14 days and this person is still paying the rent. So something else is going on. So if you get in there and there's no furniture, call me. We're going to have another conversation.
okay. All right.
Okay?
So
Play it by ear. Okay.
okay. So first things
But yeah,
first,
some don't
get in
match
there.
up. And you can look at arrest records in LA County. You can look at them up in any county. Hospital
Okay.
records are harder to find because of HIPAA law. And I'm being
Yeah.
honest with you, where arrest
Yeah.
record is public knowledge. So it's a little easier to find out, you know?
How would you pull an arrest record?
Go look at Google, no joke.
Mm-hmm.
Arrest record, LA County, and then type in the person's name. It'll tell you when they've been arrested.
Arrest record. So arrest record in local in Los Angeles County.
Local jurisdiction, yeah.
Okay, that's easy enough.
Arrest records are public knowledge.
Right. Okay.
Look at it this way. Sorry, I had to get up and let my dog in. Look at it this way. Remember back in the day before cell phones were real popular? And if somebody didn't come home when they were supposed to, we started calling the jails and the hospitals.
Yeah.
They don't let you call the hospitals anymore. It doesn't work that way. It's a little bit harder to find somebody that's been admitted because of HIPAA law. But arrest records are public knowledge.
Patty, what if I know that I have a tenant who's not living in the house. I see him drop people off to stay there a few days at a time. And I called Agla to see if what I can do about this. And they just said to get proof. None of the other tenants notice because it's a house by itself and the other people just can't tell. The cars are parked in the driveway, but one of them's really dirty and hasn't been moved in ages. One of them, I can see the back of the car. It only moves maybe once every 2 weeks. And I have caught him subletting before. So I'm kind of stymied. I need to put another camera up, but I don't have good internet that far away from my base. Do you have suggestions? I'm sure he's not there and probably letting his mom live there sometimes or something like that.
or he's Airbnb-ing it, or
Could
you
be,
have a
I see
Can
him
I
drop
ask a
people off.
question? I know you see him drop people off, they stay there for a couple of days and leave.
Right,
Do any of those people happen to be of the younger generation?
no, it
Maybe-
looks like his mom, maybe she's 50 or so.
Okay. And the reason I say that, and hear me out, okay? Just because if I don't educate you, you won't know, okay?
Uh-huh,
Remember how people used to go to a property and they'd stay for a few minutes and then they'd leave, and then somebody else would show up and they'd stay for a few more minutes and then they'd leave, and we'd see a lot of traffic coming in and out,
uh-huh,
and we'd assume that was drugs?
yeah,
Drugs are now legal. So when you see that going on, that's usually human trafficking. Just so
Oh.
you know. Okay, just so you know. And drugs are legal. Okay, drugs are legal. So their people aren't coming and going to buy dope anymore.
no,
They're coming and going to buy something else. So please keep that in mind if you see that type of activity. And now that I've taught you that, let everybody have that sitting in their red flagometer. So when they see something, it might trigger oh, that's exactly what's happening. You can put the pieces of the puzzle together faster. Okay, that's all.
oh my goodness, yeah.
So just be aware of that. Usually high traffic in this world today that we live in is about human trafficking. It's not about drugs. Drugs are legal.
Oh,
Linda says, show me the man and I will show you the crime. El Berea Stallion Chief Police, and the reason they want your files. There you go. Show me the man and I'll show you the crime. In other words, they want to see your books and records in the city of Santa Ana so they can go through them and see where you broke the rules, or where you did an illegal rent increase, or where you put something that is considered discrimination and use that against you. Exactly. It's exactly what is happening in LA County. And I can tell you right now where I'm seeing it going to happen next. Okay. It's already happening in San Diego County. City of San Diego is worse than the city of Los Angeles. We're seeing it come into La Mesa. Okay. We're seeing it come into Orange County in Santa Ana. They're now asking for it in Irvine. Wait a minute. Those people that pay $10,000 a month want rent control. Okay. So what I'm seeing, and what I can still attest to, is that counties that run along the coast have more restrictions against landlords than the inland counties. Example, Riverside and San Bernardino County were back to business as normal after the COVID pandemic, October 1st of 2022. Their maximum rent increase under state law is 9.6%. Okay. Less of a metropolis, less restrictions. Make sense? More of a metropolis, more people, more problems. More people, more restrictions. Less people, less restrictions. Patty wants to move to Alaska, where the human to wildlife ratio. I'm just being funny. Okay, Belsie, one of the bottom units is stating finding blood on the window AC from the upstairs unit tenants, and now they said the air is contaminated, and that upstairs unit denied this statement at all. We only have some pictures of blood drops on the window AC, but we don't have proof it actually went inside of the window AC. The tenant wants to break the lease. Why is there blood on the AC at all? Please explain. And I'll help. I need more of the story so I can help you answer the question better. And I also need to know what city it's in. And let me go backwards, Belsie. Oh, downtown LA. I got you. 900 22. Unless this is a different property. It's in San Bernardino. Okay, thank you, Belsi. I always need to know what city we're talking about because LA County has become so restrictive and corrupt. The entire county has been so restrictive and corrupt. It's ridiculous. It's so hard to keep track of it all. It could have been from a cat you don't know. So simply said, the upstairs neighbor didn't commit suicide and the blood ran into their unit. That's what I'm trying to find out. Not trying to be a jerk, just trying to get more of the picture or the understanding so that I understand better. Nobody upstairs did something that would cause blood to fall in or on the neighboring units downstairs AC unit, correct? That's what I'm trying to do. And
Is
it
it human blood or is it a bird blood?
Is it a lot of blood? Is it a couple of drops? It's in San Bernardino. It's about 4 drops of blood. You are chasing a ghost. You're chasing a ghost. Does anybody know what the problem is here? I do. I do. I immediately have it figured out.
The tenant wants to leave, period.
Bingo! Bingo! And you win! You're chasing a ghost. It doesn't exist. The tenant wants out of their lease contract. And here's my theory, okay? They don't want to pay the lease break fee. They don't want to be held to the thing, blah, 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 blah. If they want to go, let them. Bye-bye. Let them go. Get a DNA test. I love you, Geraldo. You're so funny. It doesn't matter. The reality is, if they want to argue that their air has been contaminated, they have a good argument, okay? And all they have to do is find an attorney that's willing to argue that, okay? Let them out of their lease. Tell them, I'm sorry you're unhappy living here. You must give me a 30-day notice. Let them give you the 30 days, charge them for whatever damages there are, and re-rent to somebody else and let the problem go. You guys were holding on to these problems. Yep, let them go. Cut ties and let them go. We're holding on to these problems, and this is part of what we're going to talk about tonight with Cocktails and Conversation. The way the rules have changed have made it extremely difficult for landlords to prove that they're right. It becomes expensive to prove that you're right. So my question to you, Belsi, and I know you understand because you work in corporate America, for lack of a better word, okay, is how much money are you going to spend as a landlord to prove that you're right? I have no doubt the tenant dripped blood on there. I have no doubt it might not even be blood. It could be rust from the unit upstairs. Okay? It could be anything. But if that's what they're using as an excuse of why they want out of their contract, just let them go. Stop the fight, let them go, reboot, reload, and put somebody new in there. Sometimes it costs a lot of money and a lot of time to prove that you're right. And at the end of the day, if you cannot collect that time and that money, who's in the wrong? Us for attempting to do the right thing? Making them do the right thing? Proving our point? We're not their parent, honey. We're not grounding them. We don't want to spend a fortune to teach them a lesson. That's not what this is about. This is business. We're not their mother. Okay? What if the tenants want to stay but want the AC to be changed? This is the tenant's window AC. You mean they made a modification to the property without written consent of the landlord? Or did the landlord allow them to put their AC in there and now they want you to pay for their personal belongings? That's where their insurance kicks in. Correct? If my refrigerator stops working, I'm not going to come after the owner for it. The other thing I would say to do is call PRC Restoration Company, come out there and have a look at it and see if those 4 drops could have possibly contaminated the AC unit. They may not even tell you that it's not blood. Or that it's from a bird, a rat, a mouse, a frickin' squirrel, a cat. In other words, you understand what I'm saying to you. They have renter's insurance for their personal belongings. It's okay that the landlord allowed it. That's not an issue anymore, but now it's still their personal belonging and their insurance would replace that, not the landlord. No different than my couch, my TV, or my refrigerator. Hope this makes sense. And come on, you can call PRC, have them go out there and do a free estimate and have them assess if that's been contaminated or not. And they'll do it for free. PRC Restoration, ask for Yomara. Okay? So what's happening isn't that they want to move, it's that they want you to buy them a new air conditioner. Let me ask another question, and this is just a dumb one. Did their unit stop working? Is the system functioning? It's working normally. Okay, so they're just either trying to get out of their lease contract or trying to get you to buy them a new air conditioner unit. As per their written contract, and if I'm saying something that isn't true, you yell at me, you tell me, okay? Please, because I'm here to help you. As per your written contract, the tenant's personal belongings require renter's insurance because the landlord is not responsible for them. If that is correct, and I'm in the right frame here, then I would let them know if they want their AC unit replaced because there was damage done to it, they should contact their insurance company, not you. Same thing if they're, and I'm trying to think of something that would happen. Their water cooler fell over on their couch and ruined their leather couch. Not a you problem. Unless it ruined your floor too. You understand? So something's going on there and you gotta be a CSI crime scene investigator to figure it out. Sometimes you got to figure out, are they trying to move out? Are they trying to get me to buy them a new unit? You got to figure out what the big picture is. And then focus around that. Okay? Because if they want out of their contract, bye-bye. You don't want to be in litigation. Litigation is somewhere you do not want to be. You guys, I'm going to say this to you until I'm blue in the face. Please remember it. Write it down. Put it on a sticky note and tie it to your shirt if you have to. Your attorney is not your first phone call on how to deal with your problems. They are your last choice. They are your Hail Mary plan. All of it is you managing in the meantime. You don't want to do an eviction. Evictions suck. They're costly and not timely. Okay? And under the current way the system's going, the last place you want to be is in the legal system, especially in LA County. And we're going to have a conversation about that on Cocktails and Conversation tonight. Exactly. They are required to have renter's insurance, but the owner moved them in and did not request it. Now they don't want to provide one. Does it say on their rental agreement that they have to have it? They are required to have renter's insurance. So serve them a 3-day curable breach of covenant for not providing you a copy of their renter's insurance with you listed as additional insured or interested party. Whenever they break the rules, that's the notice you serve, a cure quit. Ah, bingo. Call your insurance carrier to cover your personal belongings. We don't have insurance. Well, then you're in violation of your written contract. I'll be sending you a notice. Have a nice day.
Patty, is that a taking to make sure someone asks, to ask someone to have rental insurance?
Ask me the question again. Is
that a taking from them? Can we require people to have rental insurance?
At inception, yes.
After that, no?
Depending on jurisdiction. In LA County, absolutely not.
Okay, thanks.
Not if
It's
this-
in,
not
it's
if
in
this-
incorporated city in LA County,
What city?
Bellflower. So it's an incorporated
Are
city.
you on a month to month?
Yeah,
And the city doesn't have its own ordinance.
no.
Bill Gardens does, correct?
I think Bell Gardens, Maywoods,
Right. But the thing is remember I'm blonde and I have no knowledge in front of me. This is in my brain.
there is
So-
no ordinance. I'm covered
So
by
I'm
LA
going
County
Bell
only.
Gardens, Bellflower, City of Bell. You know what I mean? I'm going through
Right.
the Rolodex in my brain.
Right. No
Don't
city
forgive me.
ordinances.
So you could serve them with a 30-day notice of change of terms of tenancy, telling them that renter's insurance will be a requirement moving forward. They have 30 days to obtain it. The problem is you're going to have to give them a renter's insurance company that insures in California, because insurance is an issue right now. I don't know if you're aware.
Yeah.
Some people are being canceled saying that somebody called me last night, as a matter of fact. State Farm is pulling out of certain areas of LA County and telling them that they're no longer insuring in that area.
I think Toggle is insuring, and there some people's car insurance will insure.
Yes, State Farm, Farmers, Allstate, they all write policies in the state of California. So
Okay.
for renters insurance, but I give them that option of who they can call. Don't leave them with nothing if you're making it a requirement.
Okay,
And
thanks.
this is something that I always tell tenants about renters insurance. So you guys pay attention. This may help you one day, okay? What I tell them is, look, as a landlord, I'm insured on this house, but it doesn't insure your personal belongings, your furniture, your appliances, your couches. And if you fly on an airline and the airline loses your luggage, it's your renter's insurance that covers your personal belongings. One of the scenarios I always throw at them, because everybody has had this happen and can understand and relate to it, is all of us have had our car broken into or a friend's car broken into, and we know it's been a nightmare, because the auto insurance will pay for the broken window, but they won't pay for the personal items that were stolen out of the vehicle. Unfortunately, your auto insurance doesn't cover that, but your renter's insurance does. It covers your personal belongings wherever you go. So if you fly to New York and American Airlines loses your luggage and your Louis Vuitton purse was in there, guess what? Your renter's insurance is going to pay you back for that. Okay, so that's how I sell renter's insurance to a tenant, is that my insurance company is going to come in and they're going to fix my house, but they're not going to fix what you lost. So this is how you protect you. It's less than $10 a month. Maybe it's $15 a month. So it's 4 less trips to Starbucks. Okay. But at the end of the day, in the event a pipe breaks and the unit floods, not only is it going to pay to put you in a hotel, it's also going to pay you back your meals, your gas, any expenses you had while you were displaced. They'll help you find new housing. It's a great tool for renters in the event of an oh, holy crap. And we can't help it if the roof leaks, if a flood happens, if there's an earthquake, but your insurance company is going to protect you. And that's how I sell it to them. For 15 bucks a month, it's worth every penny in the event of an oh, holy crap, or somebody breaks into your car and steals your laptop and your purse and everything. Tenants Renters Insurance, Toggle, tell them to call whoever they have their auto insurance policy with, because a lot of them also offer renters insurance. And then what happens to the tenant is they get a dual policy discount, just like you do. When you combine your auto and your home insurance, same concept. Why am I pushing renters insurance down your guys' throats if you don't know their deductible is $50, where ours is like $5 grand? So if they need a hotel for 5 days because the unit flooded, they have to pay a $50 deductible, and their insurance company will pay to put them in a hotel. What do? I pay that deductible for them as a courtesy. Why? Because it's what's right. It's the least I could do. You just dodged a bullet and didn't have to pay for a hotel for 4 days, or meal compensation, or laundry reimbursement. Okay, so renters insurance is a great tool. I require it on all my properties. I'm added as additional insured or interested party. Interested party is great because if the tenant's policy is being canceled for non-payment, you get notified. Then you serve your 3-day curable. I just got a letter from your insurance company saying your policy is going to be terminated. Please correct this. You have 3 days. Okay. So have them find their own insurance. Toggle, Toggle, is a great source. They provide tenant insurance. And for anybody that logs on there and gives a quote, if you refer them, you get a kickback from them. I hope that makes sense. Can you repeat which companies we can refer tenants to for renters insurance? Renters insurance, have them contact their auto insurance company so they can get a multi-policy discount. If they don't have that, then I would suggest Toggle. If that doesn't work for them, then go into the State Farm, Allstate, Geico, Farmers. You understand? Those companies.
So Patty, a question for you. You know how someone asked earlier about pest treatment and the water leak? So do you still have to do per diem, or you just have them go through the renter's insurance and then you just pay the deductible?
You go through the renter's insurance, you pay the deductible, and now you give up per diem. Okay? And now listen to me. You didn't pay for the hotel, but you gave them a daily rent credit. So you didn't have to argue whether they wanted to be put in the Beverly, Regent, Wilshire, or Motel 6. You eliminated yourself from that part of the argument. You're no longer arguing with them about how much money they can spend per person, per meal, per day, and what their laundry expenses are going to be, because their insurance company is going to reimburse them dollar for dollar. You understand yet? Now do you hear why you want to push this? Okay. Also, in the event of a problem, example, okay, I'm just saying, pipe broke, units flooded, you got notification, it is Friday and it is 7:30 p.m. Go rent a hotel room, call your insurance company. That's what you're going to tell the tenant to do. Call your insurance company, go rent a hotel room, they'll reimburse you. Let me know how much your deductible is. As a courtesy, I'll reimburse you. And you're going to get a rent credit back from me. But now that whole argument of I can't be in this hotel and I can't be in that hotel, And those of us property managers out there that know what I'm talking about, that have dealt with this tenant, please say yes, Patty, yes, Patty, yes, Patty. So everybody else understands when they have insurance, you don't have to do any of that shit. You don't have to find them the hotel. You don't have to pay for it in advance. You don't have to do any of it. You know what you get to do? You get to hit the easy button. And when they say their TV's messed up and their couch is messed up, oh, make sure you let your agent know.
Can you evict them if they don't get renter's insurance?
Can you? Yes. Would I? No. Want me to explain?
Yes, please.
If I file a 3-day curable breach of covenant because you refuse to get insurance, and I could evict, I may even attempt to evict. I'm pretty sure that if we get into trial and we go through the trial and you show up with now a declaration page that you have insurance, the case will be dismissed. How much money and how much time did I spend to get that far?
That would be ugly.
Okay, so now you know why I said I probably wouldn't use it for a reason to evict.
Okay,
It may
thanks.
be added to a long laundry list of a reason to evict, but it wouldn't be the only reason. For the same reason I wouldn't evict someone for an unauthorized pet. Because when I get into court, they're going to show a doctor's note saying it's an emotional support animal. Case dismissed, go home. I'm now out all that time and all that money, and I have nothing to show for it. But in the event my tenant didn't have renter's insurance, had an unauthorized pet, had broken windows caused by them they didn't repair, weren't paying their rent, you understand? When I'm
Yes.
throwing the book at them, I'll throw that in there, but it won't be my only reason. Make sense?
Yes, perfect.
Okay. let me backtrack and re-elaborate there. It won't be my only reason, but I'll throw it onto the long laundry list of violations. How's that? Can you repeat which? Oh, I did that. Okay. Anybody else have any questions about renter's insurance? And it is so much easier when you have renter's insurance when there's a problem. Let me give you an example, okay? I lived in Big Bear during the time that they had the old fire and all those fires, and those 3 fires met together and met one. I want to say this is back in 2010, maybe 2004. I want to say it's way back there. Okay, 04. Let's go with that now. Okay. Anyway, it was the old fire and they evacuated all of Big Bear. The whole mountain had to leave. I know why they did that. But I got evacuated, meaning I can't go to work. I can't go home. I can't go anywhere. I had renter's insurance at the time. I called Allstate and they said, get out of there. Go wherever you feel safe and get a hotel. Well, I don't know if you guys remember at that time, but all of California was on fire, okay? Everywhere. San Diego was on fire. They were dealing with fires in Ramona. There was a lot of mess going on. Reality is I felt safe at the beach. So my insurance company paid for me to stay for a week at Laguna Beach on the water. I also bought clothes for my kids while I was displaced and a new blanket set for my bed. My insurance company reimbursed me for all of that. All of my expenses while I was put out. What did I do? I bought new clothes, new bed sheets. They reimbursed me for all of that. Ding. Okay.
Patty, does your premium go up or just something, you know?
Not on renter's insurance.
I'm like, it sounds too good to be true. What's the catch?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's for tenants.
Okay.
It's for
Got it.
tenants. Their deductible's $50. Their premium's $12 to $15 a month. It's ludicrous. But again, they're tenants. Haven't you learned yet? They have more rights than we do.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
No worries. I served a tenant with a 3-day notice to quit. The tenant drives drunk. He has damaged a gas pipe on the property. part of the parking lot. We have police reports in Paris. Could we evict the tenant if he does not move? Absolutely. He has created a health and safety violation that threatens the entire community. Police reports, incident number, yada, yada, yada. And thank you so much for telling me it's in Paris, because you guys, that's in Riverside County. I understand that it's not safe for that. It's a health and safety violation. Do not use the word children, ever, never. It's a health and safety violation for neighboring residents within the community. Because just as easy as he could run over a child, he could run over an adult. Children are a protected class. Don't use that word, okay? That's me trying to protect you. They're not children. They're residents from within neighboring units. Got it? Sorry, you guys. I'm a jerk about it. Children and single are two words I just don't want to see anywhere. I've eliminated them from my vocabulary, and you need to do the same. Children and the word single. Let me give you an example, because people ask me all the time, Patty, why is single a bad word? I'll tell you right now. You ready? Paying attention? I have a studio apartment. It's available for single occupants only. Did I just break the law?
Yes.
You think? Am I discriminating against marital status by saying I want a single occupant only? Yes, I absolutely am. But Patty, I didn't mean marital status. I meant number of people, one. Then use the number. This unit is for one occupant only. Don't use the word single. It will get you in trouble. See how easy that happened? So yes, those are two words Patty does absolutely not use. It's the word children and anything to do with it. Kids, any variant of it, even playing. Bad word, because it's associated with children, and children are a protected class. Be careful. Residents from within your unit. Guests from within your unit. Occupants from within your residence. Okay? I'll give you different ways to say it until I'm blue in the face. Don't use the word kids, children, or playing. Don't do it. You will get sued. Okay? My other one is single. So children, any variant of that word, and single are the two words Patty just does not allow. All right, everybody.
Patty,
Yes,
Can I quickly ask you two things?
you can ask me three things.
Okay, two. So speaking about our protected class children, I have a tenant in the city of Huntington Park. And it was brought to my attention that they sent me pictures, other tenants sent me pictures this weekend, that they had a party and they had a jumper on the property when, they're not allowed to have that. So
Wait. Why? What says they're not allowed to have that?
the house rules is no congregating in common areas.
Thank you. And my other thing was, it's an attractive nuisance. Write that down.
Okay.
Attractive nuisance.
What form do I give them?
Curable breach of covenant.
Curable breach of covenant.
Curable notice.
But the jumper's gone. I mean, the party was there and then it was gone.
On blank date at blank time, it was witnessed by blank people that you had a party at the property with a jumper.
Okay.
This kind of behavior is not allowed. The jumper is considered an attractive nuisance and is not allowed by the owner's insurance company. This is a material breach of your written rental contract and not allowed. Please remove the jumper within 3 days. No congregating allowed. So you're then going to reference that congregation paragraph also. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
What this does is it paves the road in their file. So 6 months from now, if they have another party, you can show that this is an ongoing nuisance. And then however many curables you need in place, because I'm not an attorney, before your attorney says you can do the quit. Example, Riverside, San Bernardino County, I'm serving a curable breach of covenant. And the next time that thing comes on the property, I'm serving a quit notice. Okay? LA County,
Huh.
I need 3 to 5 curables before I can do the quit. Okay?
Okay.
And that's determined by what your attorney is willing to argue.
Can you repeat again? I know that you said this is a breach of contract, and what was the second part of that?
Remember I said attractive nuisance?
Yeah, I got that down. Mm-hmm.
Attractive nuisance is where you have teeth with the insurance company because they made modifications to the property without written consent of the landlord by putting an attractive nuisance on the premises.
Right. I have that this, the jumper, this kind of behavior is an attractive nuisance not allowed by the owner's insurance property. This is a breach of contract, and then you said something else, but I wasn't able
A
to write it down.
material breach of your written rental contract.
A material, what?
Breach
Mhm.
of your written rental contract.
Of your written rental contract. Okay, got
And
it.
this is
Okay.
where you're gonna put paragraph 2, page 6, item 13. You're gonna tell them where it is in all the areas that they're breaking the rules. They've made modifications to the property, so that's 1. They're congregating in the common areas, that's 2.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I mean? In other
Yep.
words, this is, remember when somebody asked earlier, Patty, would you evict somebody for just not having insurance? No, but when I throw the long laundry list at them, this is where I'm doing it.
And this same people, they have a dog on the property. They have a dog. They're, they're not supposed
Unauthorized pet.
unauthorized pet. And then they let that pet go into the little where they had the party. They let the pet run free there, which they're not supposed to. And the pet did damage. He poor thing. He scratched up all of the grass on the corners, like how dogs do.
Okay, so you also need to either tell her she needs to fix that landscaping issue from the party that happened, or you're going to do it for her and send her the bill.
All right, all in the breach of contract, all in the 3-day curable breach of contract.
Yep.
Okay. All right, that was my first thing, and then my
Here, help me help you, okay?
Okay.
3-day non-payment of rent is 1 notice, and the only thing that goes on there is rent. No late fees, nothing else. Got it?
Right. Yep.
A cure quit is for everything else. Late
Okay.
fee, unpaid utility bills, material breaches of the written contract, unauthorized occupants, unauthorized pets, damages, everything else goes on a cure or quit.
Got it. Okay. And then lastly, I just wanted to ask you, I'm writing up a letter. We did a cash for keys for a property in LA, they agreed to $33,000 and 3 months rent. So I got the cashier's check and I'm writing up a letter, and I just put, please accept this as acknowledgement that I'm in receipt of cashier's check number, blah, 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 made payable to blah, 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 in the amount of 33,000 for the property located at blah, 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 in conjunction with the cash for keys agreement dated on April 13th, 2024. Is there anything else you would add?
They have up to, what language do they speak?
Spanish.
It has to be written in their language as well as English. Word for word, they have to match. And they have up to 45 days to rescind the offer. You don't like what I'm telling you right now. I can tell. Do me a favor. Go to stayhousedla.org, pull up relocation, and look under cash for keys agreements. It tells you in there. I can't hear you now. What'd you do? Did you mute you?
Sorry. Yeah, I
Weird.
did that. I did that when I did the cash for key contract, which was dated in
Okay.
April. The
Okay,
letter that
hold
I'm
on.
writing now
So
is just,
it's written in their primary language, correct?
Mhm.
They
Yes,
have
I
up
did
to
English and
45
Spanish.
days to rescind.
Mm-hmm.
We're past the 45 days and there's still an agreement to vacate.
Yeah. I'm just
And
trying to do
when is their move out date?
tomorrow. That's why we're giving them the check today. I'm just trying to write up a letter that's just,
Okay, go to the house and see if they're moving out.
they
before
are.
you- Okay,
They are
okay.
moving out. I'm helping them move out. Yeah. Yeah. Everything's
No.
fine. Everything's good. I just
Okay,
want to
okay.
write up a letter that they're signing that they received the cashier's check. That's it. Don't do it.
Different set of facts. You're gonna write it up different.
Okay.
I blank name.
Right.
I blank name.
Yeah.
Residing at the property located at blank. All
Right.
the way to the zip code.
Yep.
Have received a cashier's check in the amount of blank as my relocation fees.
Okay.
And
Relocate.
have as my relocation fees.
Mm-hmm.
And here's where it gets good. And I
Okay.
have no further interest in the property listed above.
I have no further interest in the property stated above.
Or in the property located at, and give me the full address all the way to the zip code.
Yep. Okay. Perfect. See, I knew you had something to add.
So you want him to sign that when he has no further interest and you have
Yes.
keys and he's out and it's a done, he has no further
Yes.
interest.
And I'm handing him his check, and I just needed kind of like a receipt.
No further interest.
Got it. Thank you.
No further interest for everybody else. And she knows what I mean by that. Means later down the road when they come back and try to sue you for some other reason, but they put in writing that they have no further interest in the property, Your Honor. I'm confused. It's an argument for your attorney to help protect you. That's all. Okay? No further interest. Why would you sue me after you had no further interest? It's an argument. Okay? All right, you guys, if we're done with Patty, let me just make sure nothing else is in the chat. I will erase it from my vocabulary. It's all good, girl. I would rather scare the crap out of all of you with my experiences and what I've seen in the industry, just so you don't make those mistakes or expose yourself to them. Okay? Remember me? Hi, I've been doing this for like 30 years, and I learned my lessons the hard way through blood, sweat, and tears. I don't want you to, okay? I don't want somebody else to face plant because I didn't tell them, hey, don't touch that, it's hot. It's hot, don't touch that, okay? I would rather tell you it's hot, don't touch that, than see you face plant. So forgive me, I'm trying to be transparent with you guys and honest, and tonight we're gonna have a nice little conversation and cocktails, and we're gonna talk about the nitty gritty of our industry. Okay. All right. If everybody's done with me and nobody has anything else, I will end this for today. You guys are great. Are you kidding me? I wouldn't be able to do this without you. Looks like I'm going to be teaching a class for AOA before the end of the year, and have some other things going on with AGLA. So we will all be rocking and rolling here in a very rapid fashion with new training, new courses, and some new things going on with Widget's Way, not to mention our cocktails and conversation. So let's get into that this evening. I will see you guys then. Have a great day. Bye, guys.
Thank you, Patty.
Thank you. Bye. Call me later.
Bye. Okay, bye.
Bye.